Today we're going to be doing what I like to call a problem-solving post-production exercise. This involves the Elements Club Transmedia movie trailer. Go ahead and open up Premiere, and you're going to create a new sequence. So go to File, New Sequence. And you should know all this stuff, but I'm going to reiterate it, and you can fast forward it if you've already done this before. Because this is low-res video, it's the low end of HD. We're going to be doing the sequence in HDV 720p30. Okay, so that's HDV 720 progressive, 30 frames per second. So select that one under HDV. We're going to name it Elements Club Trailer. Go ahead and import the assets. Mine are in a slightly different place from where yours are, so keep that in mind. So just look for a movie trailer exercise or however it is, and import all the assets. Now, the reason why I like to call it a problem solving is because not everything is just cut together at the same length as some of the other assignments that you've had. In fact, some of the audio is raw audio, and so you'll hear the booth door opening and closing, and you'll hear my wife, Karen, the director, directing the voiceover work, and some of the other clips. Most of the video clips are about the right length, and so you can go through them, and if you have to make some small changes, there's one bit that needs to be lengthened that's not quite long enough, and that's this one here, the old photo moving, and I'll show you how to change the duration on that, and you have to change the speed. The reason is there's a dissolve in the trailer reference. You need to look at the reference video and try to mimic that as closely as you can for your project here. So let's take a look at the reference now. It's about 1 minute and 27 seconds in length.
I have lived with brutality.
No, it's from Babylon. If you leave me, I will kill you.
I have faced rejection.
You cannot divorce him. It is an affront against God Almighty, and you will go to hell. You must become a better wife.
I have learned to hide in order to be free in body, mind, and heart. It takes a strong woman to face the triple threat of a raging ex-husband, an obsessed fan, and a chauvinist racing horse owner. But none of these men scare me like he does. Lord Westbury, with his sweet yet daring love notes, his stunning gift of dream interpretation, his offbeat sense of humor centered on zany animal caricatures, and his constant cat companion, Sir Furry. Every gentle act he makes toward me is a threat against my heart, and I know I must keep my reserve in place, for I cannot forget that my actions also affect my darling young ward, Victoria. Can I trust my being to another once again?
You'll need to look through that and try to set the timing as exactly as you can. 1 or 2 frames off doesn't matter too much, but try to get it even frame accurate. You'll notice in the audio clips that some of them are in the left channel only, and so what you'll need to do is fix those by going into the tools and changing that. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm not going to show you how to do this step by step because by now you should know all the basics. I'm going to show you a couple things that I didn't show you before, and you can utilize that new knowledge in solving some problems. Okay, so again, some of the audio clips are only in the left channel, and so they need to be put into both channels. Let's take that first clip and we'll drag it down into the timeline, drag video only, and then let's bring the trailer master audio, and let's look for that line.
I have lived with brutality.
Okay, so let's look for a good one.
I have lived with brutality.
So let's go with that first one. That was just fine. I'm going to zoom in so we can get it tight right before it starts. Press your I key for the in point. Play it.
I have lived with brutality.
Yeah, that's a good one. So let's drag the audio down, and we'll place it when we're ready. This is just to get a close approximation.
I have lived with brutality.
And then we'll have the music down under there. The music is already mixed for you in a stereo track. So the thing that I was talking about now, you'll notice as you're going through this that
I have lived with brutality.
it's only on the left channel. And you only see the left channel showing here and over in our meters.
I have lived with brutality.
So we need to change that so it's in both channels mono. So you right click on the waveform, and then you go to audio channels, and here you see that it defaults to left and right. So we want both the left and the right to have the left channel signal going into them, and everything else can remain the same. Then click OK. Alright, now you can see down here that the waveform is in both channels, the identical mono waveform.
I have lived with brutality.
And when you're listening to it, it's centered. That's what you need to do to all these clips that are only in one channel. And then you can go through and pick out all the rest of them, but make sure that you put them all with both left and right channels playing the left channel, just like I showed you. There are one or two others that have that same aspect, so you can figure those out. Another one of the things I was telling you about is that one of the clips here is too short to play fully. There's a dissolve going into it, and so you need to lengthen the time that it's running. So let's drag that down into the timeline. This is not the proper order, but I'm just bringing it down there so you can see what I'm doing. As you can see here, the duration is only 1 second and 5 frames. So that needs to be lengthened out to ideally about 2 seconds. So we need to right click on that, go to speed duration, and let's change the duration to about 2 seconds. And that should be just about ideal. So we'll have a dissolve going into that. It already has the animation, it's zooming in. We'll have a dissolve going into that, and that will give us enough time for the dissolve. Because otherwise, when you're doing a transition like a dissolve, you need to have enough length in the clip in order to accomplish that transition. Otherwise, it won't allow you to drop the transition on there. Now I'm going to butt this up against here and just do a little demo on that for those of you who aren't familiar with this. So video transitions, dissolve, cross dissolve. So see, now insufficient media, the transition will contain repeated frames. So we don't want to do that. So since we need enough space over here, let's drag this about a half a second into the other clip and drop our transition on there, and that'll be a nice smooth transition. By now you should understand everything that you need to do to accomplish this assignment. You have all the assets here that you need. If there's any variation in it, don't worry about it. Just do it as close as you can.